Don here. Okay, back again with another live stream. The last one, my router rebooted and killed it. And so I kept on talking, thinking, well, I'll just upload the backup video. And after a while, I realized I checked everything, and I didn't have any sound because when the router reboot, the phone, phone 1 had frozen. That was the one I was showing the monitor with, and phone 3, the one I was doing my Wi-Fi mic with, it had dropped its connection and didn't reconnect. So I rebooted everything, including the computers and router modem again. I rebooted the router again and had a snack and messed around, I guess, a bit. So now I'm back and see if I can get back to work on the HP server. Been trying to make it. I got my new video card, 8 GB video card in it. Checking my stream and my sound up there. Trying to make it quieter, and actually during all that I found out how to make it really, really loud. So loud that I didn't realize that I think what I was complaining about maybe it could be as quiet as I'm going to get it, but it seemed it is. It's the thing is sometimes I forget the video card's going to make a lot of heat. 8 GB worth of the GPU in there, GPU memory and all that, and the processor and everything, the video processor. So it's blank. Let's get 4K desktop for a minute here. Okay, it's going to make heat, and it may just have to run the fan. It's and the fans, how much they run is on the temperature inside the box. That I kept thinking, well, it doesn't, and it doesn't. I did find the areas where I think it was after the router rebooted and I had lost my stream. Oh, and speaking of that one hasn't reconnected. It needs to be. I don't know why it does that. Maybe it's got something to do with the Wi-Fi, because see the one outside, it's working fine. And bugs are always flying. There's a light above the camera, and that's why you got these Christmas balls at the top. And the bugs flying there. But I'm not using it right now, but that does remind me that I want to reboot it. What am I on? Desktop and me. Right now we'll go to the desktop and I'll reboot it. I meant to do that before I started the stream again. I forgot. But let's see. This is number 2. Whoops. I clicked the wrong one. This is IPCam 2. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere either. There we go. Can't connect on the wired connection. I clicked on the other one. I clicked accidentally. See, I have it set up for Wi-Fi, but I stopped using it because I found out when I set that up. There it is working. But for it to show up in that other app, it is working, but that doesn't mean it'll show up in that other. It might go ahead and show up in the other app, but usually if I just reboot the system, initialize, reboot, it'll come right up. Sometimes it'll come back. If you keep opening and closing that app, it'll come maybe, or it may come show up, or it may not. But it takes a little bit to reboot. Oh yeah, it makes a little noise when it's booting up. Yeah, the speaker makes a little noise, so I can tell when it does that. It's right here in front of me. There it goes. Should be back on now. Oops, no, it wasn't. Now that's what you get on the wired connection. I forget what causes that. Let's just reboot it. There we go. I mean, reload the page. There's some funky stuff you can get under the right conditions on that camera. Oh, well, while we're, well, let's look at the live dashboard, and then I'll close the browser. I'll just do another check on my stream. Looking good, I think. Close the browser. I'll just do another check on my stream. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to open up the, because I might want to use it here. I'm not going to be using it a lot right now, but I might later, and I don't want it to be not working. But I'm going to boot. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to boot. boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I'm going to boot back up to the server again. And I've got, well, I just stuck Fedora 32 net install back in there. It's for 30. It's called Fedora 30. If you want to download it, you look for Fedora server net install. It's about 700 and something megabytes, so it'll fit on a small. You don't need a lot of space. But what it does is it downloads everything from the internet, all the applications and the desktop. If it doesn't, the server doesn't come with a desktop, but if you you don't have to install server. You get in there, and I'm probably going to use it to install, and I'll show it all. But you get in there, you can actually install, Mate Desktop, Genome 3, whatever, most of the different desktops they offer, different variations of a server, different purposes. Like I'll be wanting a web server for my website, but there's other things, So it's really a cool way to install Fedora, period, except for it's slower because you have to download everything. But it's 30, depending on what you're putting in there, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour to do it. Now, if you, say, download Fedora, well, the last one, let's see. Well, I don't know if I installed 29. I had it on my stick. It would fit on my stick. 28 is what's on here. And yeah, I did install Fedora 29 with the server net install several times. I remember now because I was setting up a server, but I also and that if you know what you want and you go right to it and you don't have to spend a lot of time reading it through all the menus, then 25 minutes you're done. And I think I don't remember now if I installed Mate Desktop that way or not, because it's funny, you can't install Mate Desktop and the server at the same time with that. I used to years ago. They've always had that net install. I'm pretty sure you could, but now it's I guess it's ridiculous to try to explain it without showing it, so I won't go any further on that. Especially for me, but to try to explain it. See, USB, I want Cam 1 and USB. Okay, so Cam 1, hello, yeah. And USB 4K Cam. I liked that view. I looked back at what I had been doing there, and I liked that. So now I can just leave it like that. That's actually the way I want it, right? Yeah. And, I usually leave this open so I can look. Oh, it'll be easier on the system if it's not running, So now I'm going to go ahead and boot. Since that's where I was fixing to do, I'll just go ahead and do that. I've already, am I on the server? Where am I? Oh, there's a wire. There's a wire hanging down there, and it's right in front of everything. I can't see where I'm at. I'm going to have to move that. I'm not sure what wire that is. I think it's the DVI. Oh, it was on where I wanted it. It's the DVI cable for my monitor, the one that's, I don't know what it's, well, it's a cable. It's not the DVI cable. It's over there. Okay, now I'm not gonna even switch to the wireless because that way I'll know I'll still have sound even if the Wi-Fi went wonky. Monitor went to, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, monitor didn't go to sleep. I switched over to the server. Once it gets booted up enough, then we'll have a video signal, which you'll see on camera 1 over there on the left side of the screen, and of course you can see me still now, assuming that everything's still working. It makes me nervous when I can't tell. I normally at least keep an eye on the OBS Studio in my computer. I can't do that when I switch the KVM switch over. So I'm going to get on my laptop while I'm waiting and make sure that everything's working. it's really bugging me. It's really making it a lot harder to do my stream, but you know that it's working since Firefox bloated itself up a little with the last update. There we go. I can't keep it playing on my laptop anymore. And granted, it's a 1.6 gigahertz Celeron laptop, single core, but it's running Debian 8, and it was perfectly fine before. I could run it hours all day. You know, I could run it 8 hours, 6, 8 hours. Well, not 8 hours, 4 to 6 hours. And by that time, it'd probably be getting pretty hot and fan. Once it gets, if you let it go too long, if you hear that fan on that thing or any laptop, I figured that out that I've had. That fan's running hard and fast for 20, 30 minutes or even an hour. At some point, it may lock up, but usually what happens for me is it just quits playing my stream. The stream just locks up, and then sometimes you can just restart it, but it'll do it again in a minute or two, and you got to reboot the laptop then. But if you just keep shutting the browser and don't let it keep working it so hard, playing video, playing the live stream preview, that page itself, the scripts and stuff that are on that page, just work any machine I've got. Maybe the server will be good. It's one thing I'm hoping my streaming will be a lot easier because two 6-core processors with okay, there we go. We should be seeing. Oh, I gotta switch to. I keep forgetting I got to switch to DVI input. There we go. So now I'll go to using up and down arrow keys. I didn't mention that today. And and then I went to the very top just says Fedora 32, and then install Fedora 32. That's what this is. Hit that, press enter, and it'll boot right up into the install. Now I'm not going to do that right now, because I don't have anything to install it onto yet. I haven't set up my hard drives and set up an array or anything. I haven't completely learned. I think I can know how to do it, but I haven't actually done one yet. I've been watching videos for years. Actually, around 3 years, I guess. I've been watching videos on servers trying to learn how to do it. And once I got this server here, I've been reading about it and stuff in the manuals and stuff. But it's harder for me to. It's easier for me to retain stuff. I'm a see and do. See, I'm a monkey copy. Monkey see, monkey do. Rather than be able to read it and remember it. I used to remember things I read much longer than I can now. But, and same thing with videos and stuff. But that's the first page of any Fedora installer. Any Fedora installer is, you select your language and stuff. But let's see. Okay, I wanted to see how loud it was. So the settings are a little different than the what I had when I started tonight. I had it set to OS control, and it when you do that, it says custom, and it's kind of like, it just says custom, and some of the, I don't know if it blocks out being able to change. Yeah, it does block out being able to change some things. But so I went back to close. Not exactly how it was when I got it, but pretty close to how it was. If you want to, yeah, I was pretty well done and ready to reboot when my stream dropped. So the last 10 minutes of the stream, I was going through all the power settings and temperature settings, and there's so many things in there, and so many things that sound so similar. It's really you got to really get to know it. And experiment. That's what I'm doing, is experimenting, because I've read enough in that manual to know that it's probably not going to tell me in a way that I'm going to, or I may not be able to find, even with, I'm pretty good at searching on this page and finding stuff, but there are some particular things that there's just no mention of it in the manuals, stuff that probably server admin people, IT people learn, and it doesn't necessarily need to be in the manual, that I haven't learned yet. But it's definitely loud enough to hear it really well, and it after a while it bothers me. But boy, when I changed one setting, I forget what it was, it ramped it up. I think I set it to like power. There's only two choices in the you'd have to go back and watch that. Two choices between like power, managed power, and high performance for the fan, I guess. Not fans, but temperature settings, I think. I do not remember. Anyway, when I swapped to the other one, it got so loud. It went nuts before I ever got it changed back. Well, especially everything went wrong. But so anyway, sounds just like it did. You could probably hear it if I was on the lapel mic. I don't know. You may not be able to hear it on the SM58 with my compressor and noise gate and all that. I have compressor and noise gate on in OBS Studio software compressor and noise gate, which works pretty darn good. Plus the phone does some of that itself. The lapels are plugged into the phone, going over the Wi-Fi to the computer. The SM58 is going through the mixer, through the effects unit, back to the computer, all analog. But SM58 is much better at it's made to block out background noise. The lapel mics, I paid $25 for them. It's a dual lapel mic set, but they're not stereo. They're mono. But they're made so that you could put one on one person and one on you, or I use it a lot like one on me, and then if I want to show some noise in a computer or something, I can hold the other one close to it. I didn't do that today, but anyway, I keep talking about it, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I should do that. I guess I could. Nothing hurting me from doing it. I'm fixing to go back. That's what I can do, is just do that. And let's see. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I'll switch mics now. All right, we're on the lapel. Okay, now I'll just take this one off and put it right over there. It'll just, well, that's about close enough. That's about 3 inches from the side where the vents are. You can probably hear that pretty good. I can't get it any further unless I could get up, but I'm getting tired. So lapels, I'm not going to stay like I did last time, thinking, oh, well, since I'm jumping up and down, that's how I lost my sound, because when the router, and there's two problems with doing a Wi-Fi mic. One is audio and video getting out of sync, and the longer you play, especially lately, I think it's because I'm got that other camera on my, it's not on the Wi-Fi, it's on the wired connection, but evidently that's still making a difference. And that's a 5 megapixel high resolution camera, a security camera. That's about as, I've got one outside and one in here running right now. So plus cam 1 plus the Wi-Fi. So that's 4 network streams going, 3 video and 1 2 megapixel, 2 5 megapixel, and then the audio, which would be the least bandwidth. But anyway, and then the mic is analog, so it's not it just pulls right along. People think digital is the best thing in the world, but the most dependable, even when you're going into computers, most dependable, easiest to get sounding good, and the best about not having latency delay is an analog signal running through a mixer or to your computer. Using USB, it's very light. Well, I haven't used a USB mic, but I've used USB cameras ever since they invented them, and they will overwhelm your system of your computer very easily. Luckily, I've got my endoscope. I've been able to leave it on, and the new, it's called 4K camera, but it's a 13 megapixel CMOS sensor, and it won't do, let's see, it does 12 something by 720 is what it. That's what it does. Well, it'll do less than that, but it won't do more than that on the USB, and that's because most systems are not going to be able to handle it. Maybe if you had the server and you had USB 3 on it, maybe you could do 4K through there then. But and that thing doesn't actually do 4K. They use some software to try to bump it up, but it's very grainy. It doesn't look like anything like 4K. So, but it's okay. It does do what I need it to do. The main things I needed to do. I wanted a computer I could live stream. Camera I could live stream with, and also a regular camera that I could just pick up and use, you know. And something with at least it doesn't have optical zoom, but it does have 16x digital zoom, and it is better than my camera zoom. Well, they're only 2 megapixel, so 2 to 13 megapixel. That is a big jump. So now, what am I going to do? Okay. It's just sitting over there running now. What I'm going to do is put Fedora 32 on an SD card because it's too big. Fedora 32 with Live Mate Desktop on an SD card because it's too big for my USB sticks. I already tried that the other day. And boot it up. Then I can just go through the system and see, get to know it before I go and install it. And since I don't have my RAID, it wouldn't. If I had my RAID all set up and I knew for sure I could do that, well, then I would just install it. But I don't, so I'm going to. I need to check my sound again before I. Yeah, I wanted to make sure everything was working. And let me go turn it off. So I have these two. Go ahead and get on the. I have these two. USB, SD, SD card, compact flash. Just they're called. 62 and 1. One's 62 and 1 and one's 52 and 1. I've had them for years and they're really good. That's my little keyboard thing. Yeah, I've got a compact flash from my old camera I had in this one. That one's actually the smaller one there. I think it's the newer one. I tried those on my new SD cards. If I remember right, they 60. Oh, that's a 68 and 1. And then this one is 52 and 1. And I do remember that some cards, one of these would read it and the other ones it wouldn't. But anyway, it wouldn't read my new SD cards. And they come, I think it's exFAT that they come formatted with, a Microsoft file system that has become the kind of the de facto file system everybody uses when they manufacture their SD cards. And I think I'm not even 100% sure now if that file system will actually read in my Fedora Linux system. But get my SD card. No, I believe. Well, it may not. But here's the problem: I couldn't even see it with. I put it in this adapter and stuck it in those. I couldn't even see it with Parted Magic or any. I tried 3 different partition editing programs that I have, and I couldn't see it. So I'll take it out of this adapter. Oh, I should have kept that little cover and put it in this one. This one actually, it came with. It's newer than those, and it came with another Strontium brand SD cards that are in my phone. I had 2 of them. One of them quit working altogether, and this one, the plastic is real tender like a leaf, and it. I don't remember ever like stepping on it, dropping it, stepping on anything. Anyway, it's cracked and a chunk came out of it. Still works, but you can now. It's in the area where you. I'll show it. It's in the area where. See that? So it will bend now enough. Oh, that's something. I don't think it would fall in there, but I've been thinking I'll be really careful. That's my TRS-80, my Radio Shack TRS-80. I don't want to drop anything down in there because it's not. I've had it apart, but it takes a little while, a little work to open that up and try to find something if you drop it in there. Okay, so yeah, that one stays in there pretty good. The ones I were using in there, it was a WinTech brand, not the Strontium that came with it, and they were so loose in there they'd fall out. I had to put tape on it. But these ones are. There's another one of those adapters. They only came with. Oh, that's the WinTech adapter. Which one's in the phone and one's in the other camera outside the WinTech. This is micro SD. Micro SD? That's not the brand. Anyway, the brand's not on there. Anyway, it was only $12. They seem fine. I haven't tried this one yet, though. It is brand new and haven't used it. Okay. Oh. Well, that still works. So I'm going to plug it into my, let's get off that. Let's see. I can't show that. I didn't show it the other day. I guess I'll show it. I'm going to be on the desktop in a minute anyway, so that'll be fine. Is it frozen? It's behind. Okay. Oh, you can't see it there either. Okay, well, pretend you can see my keyboard. I plug it. It's only USB 1.0. That's why I was kind of like, oh crap. But it does work because I did it the other day. But I have to remember. See, I've got a couple more USB ports on the back of that machine, but I've got the two on the front. Oh, this is my Lenovo i5 that I'm talking about, the one I'm streaming from. The two on the front have. I'm going to ahead and close it. Let's see. It didn't mount it. It could not be anything to do with the adapter. So let's see if I'm going to be able to see it. Now I'm wondering, I do know one thing I can do. I could boot up that WinXP, see if it mounts it in there. I don't remember what I think what I thought is that I just put it in this adapter here. It still may show up to Parted Magic, though. Now that I'm not, in a way, I can tell the screen's working, I want that preview back up on my laptop. As soon as I close it, I get worried. If you don't pay attention, then you'll be talking to yourself for an hour or two. So, okay. I'm going to let it play for a little while. I did reboot the laptop a while ago. Okay, so I'm just going to get over here and get Parted Magic. Or G-Parted, I'm sorry, not Parted Magic. That is a Linux setup rescue system that I like. I was thinking about putting it on the USB stick to boot to it, because I did that before already when I first got it, but I was trying to think of something that would boot real easy. Then I decided, oh, well, I'll just boot to the install thing. Got to put in your root password. And I say this, every time I use one of these apps, you can destroy any drive on your system with these things. So learn what you're doing before you use them and be very, very careful. See, there's my hard drive. There's my boot partition, my LVM with my operating system inside. That's in DevSDA. It's different. It's not always the same, so you can't just go by the letters and memorize them or anything. That's my 8 terabyte backup drive. It's SDB. And in my mind, that's actually would be the third drive, but it's the second one in this system. This one is the dev SDC. That's just how the system sees. These are USB, so that's just how it lined them up automatically. And this is NTFS. I didn't reformat it. The other one I reformatted the ext4. So it doesn't see that drive. So boy, it would be terrible if that thing was just bad. And you know, it's but way past the return window. I didn't get around to using them. So I'll go ahead and try. So it may be that it would have worked in the. I don't think I might have ended up having to put it in. Do I have one? I don't have one in that camera yet. You might be able to put it in the camera and let it format it, unless it didn't see it either. But I think maybe it's not seeing it. Let's go ahead and try the other two. See, there's gparted. I just put part in there this time. What's that? Footprints and symbols, KiCad. That's just a whole other thing. But anyway, the KDE partition manager probably won't see it either. I don't really remember what I had to do to format the other one. The one that I know I formatted it to FAT32 before I put it in that. It's not in the camera. Where is it? Yeah, the 32 gigabytes in the camera outside. I have 3 of these. Where is the other one? It's not in one of the phones. Oh, it's in that camera. It's in the 4K, quasi 4K camera. Okay, so it's been working great. And I formatted it somehow before I put it in there. So that is my main hard drive. You see it has dev SDA and SDA2. That is the boot and the LVM. And then the Seagate expansion drive 7.28 terabytes. That is the 8 terabyte so-called backup drive. And then this one is, see there's a little system Microsoft unknown partition there. It's unknown to this program. And the rest of it is NTFS, 4.55 terabyte. And this is the actual, see this one shows things a little more detail than gparted does, but it's not, I like gparted for doing the actual editing. Anyway, it's got Lenovo i5 home. That would be inside the LVM. The root is 50 gigabyte. That's inside the LVM. And the swap partition is 3.8 gigabyte. That's inside the LVM. So that's everything inside the LVM. And then the boot, see the SDA is boot. SDA2 is the LVM. So, but no, and then I remember where to go to get to this. Livet, it's going to do the same thing. This is the new Fedora partition manager. And it is going to be just about like that KDE one that I was just using. It's a little laid out a little different. This used to be called, I want to say it was called Genome Partitions. Well, the one that this one looks just like anyway. I guess this is a different one. But this is the new one that Fedora decided to put on there. But same basic thing. Looks a little different. And some of them have features. One will have features, things it can do that the other one doesn't have. I haven't used the Blivet a whole lot. It was in beta, and it was kind of buggy, but I think it's not. It came with Fedora 28, so, and that's a long time ago now, so it's not in beta anymore. But yeah, no. Of course, I got it plugged into this. Well, there shouldn't be any reason why that wouldn't. Did I try that in anything besides mine? I did use this the other day to write a USB stick, but how do I know that it can read? Get it out of there. So I just now thought, if that's the only place I tried it. No, I tried those adapters in the. I unplugged the camera, the endoscope, and it didn't work. That is a thought, though. What if? Oh, that's all right. It wasn't mounted. I unplugged it, but I'll make sure it didn't get it out of whack or anything from being. It did try to pull them apart from each other. Pulled the little one out of the USB adapter. I mean, okay, so I'm going to put it back in the keyboard again, and there's one other thing I don't remember. But let's try it. It's getting ridiculous. I really think before I just plugged it into that little USB adapter there, and it just worked. So I'm going to try booting this Windows XP virtual machine and see if it can see it. But the thing is, from what I remember, you used to have full USB support in VirtualBox, but it was only USB 1.1. It didn't do USB 2. That's what it's in, a USB 1 device. So, but in the last several years, from what I remember, I never got any USBs, from the host machine to show up in the VirtualBox. But used to, you had to install VirtualBox guest editions, I think it was called. And then they started saying you don't have to do that anymore. And if you did it anyway, I did it anyway because I just thought that's what I needed to do. And then it said sometimes if you do that, it clashes with the new drivers and blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up having to uninstall them and stuff. And I don't remember everything now. So those are little notes telling you what's going on. And loaded up awful fast. Usually took a lot longer than that to boot up XP. Well, I got to remember not to check in the sound. Yeah, I don't have. It's a good thing I closed Crusader. Yeah, you don't want a bunch of stuff running. So of course it's not. I was looking to make sure, but I wouldn't expect it to just mount. So devices is where you can go to devices USB. Well, that's just setting, shared folders, network audio, optical drives. I used to be able to set it up. What have I got here? Debian, host, drive, Debian. Those are some ISOs. Go away. Firmware. Those are some ISOs that are in. I don't know why they're still showing up. Anyway, I had it to where I could boot from USBs and the CD drive. It was actually, like if I already had something on a CD, it was actually kind of handy. Keyboard. If I had something on a CD and I didn't want to have to, anyway, it's handy. USB settings. I didn't think you could do that while the system was running, but we'll look and see. Okay, yeah, and it just has a USB 1 filter in there. See, there it is right there. It shows 2 and 3, but this is not, okay, VirtualBox is not a completely free and open source software. It is kind of like shareware or freeware, more like freeware, I guess. If you're used to Windows, it's not completely fully functional. It does plenty, and I've never had really needed more than what it'll do, except for ever since I can't get USBs to show up in here. I can't remember now. I don't use this real often, if I ever did. But adds a new filter with all fields set to values of the selected USB device. Let's try one and see. No devices available. Edit selected filter. Just says new filter 1. You don't actually have to add those. Left, let's see. List all USB filters of this machine. Go away when I try to read you. The checkbox to the left defines whether the particular filter is enabled. Oh, okay. Use the context menu or buttons to the right to add or remove USB filters. I think that's one I added. You can always do that. I don't think that'll make any difference. I guess the best way to know is to put a known working device in there, huh? That's the way I had it, so I'm going to leave it. Let's take, well, I've got two deals. Okay, I've got that USB that's just formatted FAT32. And I'll just plug it in the other side of this keyboard. See if it shows up in there. It may just mount on my main machine. Let's look and see. Yeah, it did. Okay. So, you know what? I think if it won't mount in your main machine, you can't get it into XP either. See, now it's empty, but it's formatted FAT32. Now let's see if anything shows up to bring in there. Oh. No USB. Yeah, there it is right there. If it was there to where you could connect it, no USB bus is connected. Let's look at this. Try undoing that one. It could be whacking it up. I don't know. Let's see. There used to be something somewhere you had to turn it on to make it work. I remember that. Those are for optical, audio, network, USB, shared folders, which I've got that set up the way I want it. Shared clipboard is disabled. I used to always turn that on. Let's not mess with anything else right now. Guest edition CD image. You used to have to do that in order to get it to work. I'm going to put that back there. I don't remember that ever hurting to have that one default. It's kind of like an automatic one. Now you can do that, and I think it works. Could not find the guest edition image. Do you wish to download this disk image file from the internet? That's going to open up the browser. Well, that does give me the thought about, are you sure you want to download from, why yes, let's do that. Working good. So you can get on the internet. I thought it was going to open up a browser and it didn't. Oh. Oh, it failed. Why? May not be. It may be bigger than the space left. This virtual drive is almost full, and I resized it and made it bigger, but as soon as I rebooted the system, it didn't work. Okay, we'll cancel all. Yep. Let's see how much space I have left on this thing. I didn't even pay attention to how big it was. It shouldn't have been more than 500, 700 megabytes, but let's see. Yeah, I've got 1.18 gigabytes left. And see, there's my backup drive. I can go to it and share files and do whatever I want. But let's see. How do you get to the... I don't like this layout. I don't even know how to navigate it. I want the normal file manager layout. I think if I close that and open it up some other way. Of course, I could use Total Commander. I have that somewhere on here. There it is. Sometimes I think something's not there, and it's actually there. You know, it actually shows up in File Manager. But since I got this open, it made me remember, oh yeah, I was wanting to try out iLO in this old browser. But I don't think I can get to it. So Commander's taking a while to open up. This is my favorite twin panel file manager until I got into Linux. It was what introduced me into twin panel file It was called Windows Commander at that time. Downloads, that's on this Seagate expansion drive. This is on C drive. See what other drives are there. CD, expansion drive, and network neighborhood. It's just network stuff. So little. And I don't know if it can, I don't know why I did that. Drive not found. Didn't say. Now we're on C drive. Yeah, so what's in there? It's not too much, is it? Might be some space I could clear up. I think it's just stuff that I ran that you can run from, startup CPL. I think all of that is stuff that you can use straight from the folder that don't really have to be installed. I'll just put it back in there and close it. Okay, so that's not Total Commander. One thing, it doesn't always show you unused desktops. Well, that should be the kind of view I want, or will it be? Where's the normal? Way to change it to the normal view. There, folders. There we go. My computer. There we go. Now I can see the drives. C, D, E. Yeah, there's no USB, no other drive in there. Okay, so, So I've tried everything I can remember to do. And I don't think having that other drive in there would hurt, but let's take it out anyway. Every time I take it out, it goes flying. And that little adapter, and my USB stick, it was all solid lit up, and now it quit. It could have been jacking it up. I started to pull it out of there, but it's blinking now. It was just lit up. See if it's going to mount. It unmounted. You know, that's crazy. Yeah, when I put, okay, well, I don't know how that happened. Oh, you know what it does? Let's try it again. Put it in the other side. That's what I was going to do. The U3 won't mount, but the main volume did. That does that sometimes. Okay, so the U3 is mounted. So that's what you have to do. You mounts in, and then then you'd go over here, and you'd be able to select. It would show up, and you'd be able to select it. But it is not working. Yeah, I haven't been able to fix that for a long, long time, years. Well, let's go ahead and I don't know what I'm going to do for my only other. I guess what I used to do when I couldn't get an SD card to show up in any adapters or anything is I would put it in. I would put it in the SD card, full size SD card adapter, and put it in the Dell 1525 laptop, and it would show up. And I would work on it there. I'm going to safely remove that USB. But the Dell 1525 laptop, there's no SD card on this Dell 6000 that I'm using to preview my stream. It's older. But the Dell 1525 is in Mom's room for her to use. So can't go get that. She's asleep. All right, so I'm going to open up my favorite web browser in the world. Well, I could try this version of Firefox first. I was going to say I'm going to open up Internet Explorer, but it's probably the only one that's going to have. Where is it? Oh, there. No, I don't have my Phone Explorer. I used to use that to the remote desktop with my phones. I can't connect to it anymore. I think the reason is because of the IP address. Let's try Firefox first. It's right there. I don't have it on the desktop, I think, so I wouldn't accidentally open it because it's, hadn't been getting updates. See, I kept getting updates till 2019, security updates, because I set this up as a enterprise system. It's Fedora. It's a XP Pro, and you can do that in the BIOS. In the registry. But, this is 2020, and it hasn't been getting any updates since spring or summer of 19 now. So, but it did get security updates all that time. People went nuts about XP, how insecure XP was, the day after it got its EOL, end of life. And I remember they had something about, some kind of malware that got into some hospital systems and stuff, and the news people were selling, well, why are you doing this to those people, and all, some people in England and stuff. And they really didn't let them answer them. Even if the people tried to tell them, hey, we're getting security updates until 2019, they never listened to them. They were just wanting to make a big thing out of it, like they always do, like the line media always does. But that being said, I haven't run Windows as because it is too insecure, for 100,000 other reasons. Simply because it's the one everybody loves to attack the most. Since 2005, when I discovered Linux, and of course now everything's a little more vulnerable because there's more and more cross-platform malware. Looks like you haven't refreshed Firefox. No, I'm not going to do that right now. Is it going to be able to connect to anything, go anywhere? Let's find out. It's probably start updating. Now it worked. Okay, let's see. It did go to Google. I used to go type Don Songs in Google and find my website. Now all I ever find is this guy in India that's been like he's a singer and an actor. He's been doing it he's a lot older than me. He's been doing it a lot longer than I have. But when I first started my websites back in the early 2000s, that guy wasn't into the internet, Now he's all over it. It's moving really slow, but that's because the virtual machine is working this machine too hard. See, we've got OBS at 25%, VirtualBox at 25%. And I won't go to that graphic because that just makes the machine work even harder. Okay, we did see, there he is. It's pretty hard to find my own. I can type in donsongs.com, and I still will find more of him than I will of my website. Anyway, what I was going to do is type in that IP address. I was trying to think. Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember how to get the IP address of the system. And the last time I tried to change it, I couldn't see the way to change it, or a way or the way. There it is, 192.168. I'll just try it first and see. 8.0.122. Yeah, see, I put an O. Great Dawn. Yeah, because I didn't put 0, I put O. How funny. Yeah, not secure, same thing. And let's see. I'm going to see if I can get it. Oh, yeah, you can't. I don't think my genome screenshot tool won't work while I'm in here. So let's just. It's not trusted. Valid certificate. Add an exception. There we go. Invalid information. What would that? invalid information. PMP so-and-so iLO, Hewlett-Packard Company. I guess they think it's trying to say it's Hewlett-Packard. Default user do not trust Hewlett-Packard. It says so-and-so, so-and-so. There's the fingerprints right there. Okay. This is see, they're not even letting you see all that in Firefox anymore. Confirm the security exception. Now what do we get? Incorrect message, authentication code, SSL error, bad Mac alert. That's the same one I was getting in the new Firefox. I think what it is I don't have the Java that it needs. I think in the manual it tells you which version of Java to use. Probably don't have any Java. What to do with security codes? Firefox 52, Windows XP. So that's what I'm running. Firefox 52. Not secure. That's just showing you what you got. See, it's not. That's the thing, I guess. It's really tricky to get through by all this and connect to iLO because. Something that it's letting you, it's talking to me. I mean, it's just that Firefox won't let you go there. And so Morton, he'll show you exactly what version of, in his videos, he'll show you what version of Java to get and everything. But tools, add-ons. Oh, I've got. Yeah, those are already in there. So I've got those in there. I got Flash Block in there. Huh, why do I have Flash Block in there? I guess because it would lock up my virtual machine overworking it. That's why. IE tab. Oh, I remember that for years. You can make it, you can use it to open a page up in a tab that works just like Internet Explorer. Safe shopping. Why is that in there? That's an old. Those were probably in my back when I used to use Firefox Sync. I bet you. Okay. Plugins. That's what I was really wanting to look at. ETAB plugin, H264, Microsoft DRM, VLC plugin, Windows Media Player. So yeah, I don't have, let's see, extensions, yeah. So I don't have any Java at all, it doesn't look like. Let's see. I would have to know what version. It's not even taking my, there it is. Well, you'd have to. It's been so long since I haven't been needing Java for years. I don't even remember how to find it and install it anymore. Especially in Windows version of Firefox. So that's been my problem. Oh, let's see. Can I just say open an IE tab somewhere? Would be interesting. Come on. Let's see. Web developer. IE tab 2 options. Let's see. Enable states filter. That's just options. That's a lot of options. A789. That's pretty cool. How do you open something up in IE tab? Go away. What's that? Downloads, I think. Left click, switch rendering engine of current page. Middle click, use new tab, switch rendering engine. Right click, show a tab to such filter. So I think that might connect it, and just click on it and it connects it in IE tab. I remember that was pretty handy because you don't have to open up the Internet Explorer at all. I used to like Internet Explorer years ago. First browser I used, you know, Windows 90, well, Windows 3.1. And then can't think of it. Oh, Netscape. Netscape came out. Well, I actually saw it. There used to be here in I live in Azle, Texas, which is close to Fort Worth, Dallas. There was a show, Net Something Live. It was a show on TV every Friday or Saturday night, and it was a live show, and they were just all about helping you learn how to do things on the internet. Let's see what this says. Revocation information for security certificate for this site is not available. Do you wish to proceed? Yes, I do. And it was really funny because that was when it was really popular to have that. Rockabilly was popular, and they were doing what do they call it, the dancing where they flip the girls and stuff. I actually did sound for a rockabilly band, and the guy and his wife, one of the guys in the band and his wife used to do that kind of dancing. And this was a Christian rockabilly band, not the regular ones. And they were the nicest young people. And people didn't like them because of the way they looked. I remember anyway, I won't go on and on about that. Let's see if this works. Because they had that style, you know. I couldn't believe it because, you know, I grew up when I was a teenager, I decided I liked long hair and rock and roll. And, of course, that's what everybody loved to hate. And then all of a sudden, these kids had short hair, you know. It's just combed back like in the 50s. And, of course, it was a bit different. They had lots of tattoos and stuff. But, okay, let's see what this says. This was in, like, the late 90s I was talking about. Okay, it can't be viewed. I really need to do something about the font size. And can I make it bigger? No, I'm probably mess something up. Oh. Okay, I'm going to say yes, I want to proceed. Never did close that. Do you want to refresh Firefox? It's bugging me. I keep seeing more messages, you know. I'm like, oh, that again? I don't want to get off sidetracked on doing stuff. Especially when you try to do stuff on this machine in VirtualBox, the less you do, the better, because, see, we're still working this machine pretty hard. I can't do this for a real long time and do my stream. I'll lose my stream. You lock up the machine, it'll just absolutely lock up the machine if I keep going too long. Use up all the memory. What it'll do usually is just suddenly start using up all the memory on the machine. Especially if I try to give VirtualBox too much to do in XP there. While it's trying to load, I'll check my stream again, sound and everything. And yeah, it's working. Nice, nice white screen there, huh? Still says connecting. Be cool if it worked. But I did try Internet Explorer. Whoa! What do you see there, boys and girls? I see HP integrated lights out 3 HP ProLiant. Oh, how cool. Now then, I do have the passwords. Let's make sure nothing's going to show up in there. Yeah. And the username, let's see. Oh, how cool. Okay. At least that's something I'm well, I did get my video card in there, and it works good. Everything's so little. Can I make that font bigger? In Control Plus doesn't work, or did it? Did it work? No, it should be way big by now. Laptop's starting to whine, working too hard. I don't know why that doesn't work in VirtualBox. Oh, there is a plus and minus thing there. So I can't read any of it. It's not working. It says it's on 120% already. Either that or it's taking too long and it'll suddenly get so big it won't fit in there. It could have been that it's delayed in reacting. Let's see if I made things. Everything's still okay. All right. So I got to find my, I actually set up my own username, and then there's one that was already in there. iLO. Oh, that's G7 server. Looking at my notes. Staring at those small things and all that white on the screen made my eyes just kind of, it's like, you know, when you look at the sun, my eyes are all messed up now. It may need to install Java 8. That's what I wrote down. Well, that must be in the IE. See, the Internet Explorer, well, I don't know, the one that's on here didn't work, but this IE tab works. Software update. It's out of date. Upgrade. Latest version is not supported on your system. Please upgrade your system. You will not see this again, but you can learn more. I hope that doesn't make it do something. Should have hit close. It's not really responding. Afraid. Oh, there we go. Don't get me off this page. Okay, yeah. I'm having to look through. I finally had to get my magnifying glass. Yeah, I've got on here. There's stuff in the iLO setup that really threw me off. Like iLO. Let's see. Oh, F8 goes to iLO. Boot port 85. I tried Firefox EFSR. It says that in the manual. And I put on there, nope, Fedora 28. That would have been an old Firefox ESR. But it does have support. Firefox ESR is a lightweight version of Firefox that you can get in Linux and most Linux repositories. And then F8 on boot. Okay, I'm not going to read my notes. Yeah, that PM1A, DNS name PN1AP, so-and-so. And I thought you had to get a different port besides 80, but you don't. I had 636, 85, 23. I don't really know now how I got all those different ideas about ports. For things I read in the manual. That's why, if I can figure something out by trial, reading through menus and trying things, I'm getting to where I'm more like. I used to be that way real bad, and I would spend days trying to do things instead of reading manuals. If I get into a bunch of trouble, if I get into trouble. I usually go to the manual much sooner now. But I've already been doing a lot of reading in the manual. But let's see. It says remote port. Okay. So maybe that's like from, yeah, that would be from the internet. I have some stuff written down about what version of Java to try and use. I did find my password, but I was trying to see what there was a user and a password from previous owners, and I didn't take them out until I was sure I didn't need them. Well, I was thinking, let me read the rest of this. I was thinking that there might be a, well, iLO will do more if you pay for another license. It'll do more stuff. And I thought, well, if there's still a license in here, I don't want to delete that, delete anything that allows me to get to that, like administrate it or anything. But I finally found the area where the licenses are showed, and it said you don't have anything. So whatever the basics are, that's all I'm going to have. My notes are confusing me a bit, but I'm going to just try what. Yeah, okay. Let's just use me. It got out of the box. Doesn't look like it worked. Or is it just still working on loading the page? Yeah, it's working, just slow. Let's just wait, be patient here. That's because this machine is just barely able to handle what I'm doing with the machine. Yeah, but I really got to figure out how to make this bigger. I can't read that tininess any longer. It's at 133%. Maybe if I go to the options, I can change the font size. Right, I'm going to mess something up, though. Yeah, okay. Font. Oh, advanced. That'll change them all. I usually go about 20, 22 or something. See, different fonts, though, have different minimum font size. I'll say 20 right now because I'm not really sure. It might not be that I want it that big. Really, the main thing is, doing your minimum font size. Yeah, that's a little too big. Didn't make that any bigger yet. Probably have to reload it. That's too big anyway. That's the minimum font size that big will be too. Try 18, I guess. Yeah, I'll try 18. I always just make them all the same. That looks still a little big for Let's try that. I don't want them to not work is the thing. I wonder if I can, I'm just going to hit that bookmarker. I don't care where it goes as long as I have a way to get back to it. That should make you re-log in even even though it's, you know, to a specific page. That's about right. I'll leave it because I don't want to. It didn't get a whole lot bigger. Maybe I should have left it. Actually, don't look like it's any bigger. There may be a certain, you know, maximum font size for the. And let me go to 150. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't think I really want it any bigger than that. Okay, let's just look at what I think I can read it now. I think server name, long letters, ProLiant 380G7, system health okay, server power off. That's right, it is off. I was like, huh? Oh, it's not running. Remember, UID is off. UUID. I think both of them may say UUID. It's still too little for my eyes. Serial number. Backup system ROM 10/19/2010. That was the last time, I guess. iLO 3. IP address. Let's see. Virtual buttons. There you go, right there on the front page. Note, when the UID indicator is flashing, a critical operation is being performed on the server and should not be interrupted. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Server, momentary press, UID indicator toggle on and off. Okay, so I could probably start it, but I'm not going to do that right now. System information. It's not going to be updated while it's off. Fans. Oh, well, let's just go ahead and try to turn it on, and then we'll be able to read more. But before we do that, maybe we will. Let's try to make it bigger one more time. Let's go over here and look. Still okay. I'm worried about trying, you know, going on and on doing this. Remote console, virtual media. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some of this is not going to work. I know that. Let's try it. I should turn it on. Are you sure you want to momentarily press this device? Yes, I do. Boot it up. Cool beans, Batman. Let's see. What do I got in there? I don't got nothing in it. Probably just keep rebooting then. Well, let's just see what shows up in the system information. Fans are okay. Redundancy, everything is okay. Fan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everything is okay. Speed 33, 39, 39, 29, 13, 13. This is really cool. These are all the things. This is why I tried to get in here first. I knew there was a lot of good information in here. Temperatures. There is a lot of. There are 30 sensors in this thing. My gosh. Ambient, CPU, power supply, memory, I/O system, I/O board. Oh, that's probably the Ethernet that I'm not using. They say not installed. What I was thinking is there's going to be something that can. Is there one that's like for my the PCI slot? Yeah, I/O board. Storage. I guess it's going to be an I/O board. There's two, 16 and 17. But the thing is, it doesn't differentiate between the, you know, the PCI slots. They're called I/O. Yeah, they are. Well, they're called PCI. The Ethernet, the 1 gigabit Ethernet are called PCI or PCIe. and they're not, you know, PCI card, but they are a PCI device. So anyway, there's a few that's not. I think the I/O board. I'm not sure. I/O board may not be the PCI. I'll have to keep looking through. But there's a reading. Oh, they're all in centigrade or Celsius, and I don't know what that means. I wonder if I can. Fahrenheit. There we go. Now we got American temperatures. It's America. All right. Beeped at me. It wants me to do something. I really should have put something in there. I know what I can do. I don't know how well that would work. I better switch over there. I can put this USB stick in it and boot it from right here off of my. It'd might not run too good because it's USB 1, but it's trying to boot. Let's don't be lazy. I'll go put it in the machine. I'll just get myself in a mess. I'll switch my system. Will reboot. Yeah. I'm too slow. Okay, yeah, you didn't get to see none of that, but because I'm on my desktop with the other machine, but I didn't have time to switch. But it will it's trying to boot Pixie Boot, and then it's going to reboot, counting down 2, 1. It should see my USB stick now. I went and put it in there. Yep, it did. Why isn't my keyboard working? Oh, because I didn't ever switch over there. I don't think I'll have. Well, let's try it. I got a minute. Well, not a minute anymore, but there we go. I don't know what I might have been doing. There. Okay, now it'll go to Fedora 32 installer, and I'll just leave it there. I was also trying to check my stream while that was going on. Okay, we're booting up. Well, at least you do see something there. I forgot about that. What's going on the iLO? Yeah, see, if I would have put that in the keyboard USB port, then it would have, as soon as I had to switch, then I'd have lost connection to it, and it would have crashed it. So, okay, now. Now then. Yeah, it says 170% now, but it's really not any bigger looking to me. But it takes a long time for it to do what I tried. You know, when I try to enlarge the font, it takes a long time for it to do it. Okay, so the temperatures, 106, 189, 180, 194, 156. One of them is 230 degrees. Critical is 239. What is that? That must be. It says system though. Temp 30 system. Reading 142 Fahrenheit. Oh, thresholds. Those are thresholds. The reading's 142. Oh, what? Thresholds. Caution critical. Temp 30 is 142 degrees. That's got to be that video card. doesn't seem to be anything else in there anywhere near. Let's see, 100, 104, yeah. 182, 181. None of them look like they're anywhere near any of the thresholds. I'm surprised there's not a red light on it, though. That's kind of weird. Temp 30 system. That must be close to my video card, like right by it. That I would be expecting to get that hot. But I've never had any error lights on it before I put it in or after. That's something I'm going to need to... I started to make a screenshot, but that'll make that's going to... The system's too overworked as it is, this Lenovo is. Yeah, it's actually over the threshold. It's over the critical threshold, 239. It's 142. You've been yelling at me this whole time? So we're good. We're just fine and dandy. Okay, good. That was worrying me. Yeah, there would be, you know, warnings going on. They would be in here. It wouldn't say okay. It'd probably be lights on the machine too. Power. Okay. I keep thinking maybe I want to make those fonts even bigger, see if it could let me be able to read that. But usually you hit Control plus, Control minus to make, you can make the fonts as big as you want. I don't understand why it's not working in there. Probably because it's a virtual machine and the, you know, all the shortcuts are kind of different and everything. Okay, so reset power reading, 156 watts. Recent power reading, 156 watts. Power supplies, power supply 1, power supply 2, they're okay. High efficiency mode auto, that's what I've got it in. Firmware version 1.6. So if it's only using 100, of course I'm not doing anything with the video card, but just running idle basically. Running an operating system, very light one, you know, the installer. Anaconda, I think, is what they're still using, the installer. 156 watts. That's not bad at all. Of course, I don't know what it'll be like when I'm actually doing something, but processors. 2533 megahertz, 2533 megahertz. Execution technology, 6 cores, 12 threads, 64-bit capable. That's memory technology. Let's see. Memory technology. I need a line. Oh, there's a line, but I can't. There we go. Memory technology, 64-bit. They're too far apart. And then internal L1 cache. Caches. I never have really learned the significance of those. I know everybody used to quote that on their machines, and I did learn that bigger is better. But processor speed 2533, cores again. Oh, that's proc 1, proc 2. So it's 2. I don't know what proc stands for though. Same information. Memory. Okay, we got status. Let's see. Proc 1 dim 1G. Anyway, there's the whole thing is full of 4 gigabyte sticks, 1600 megahertz. Oh, there are 2 slots not installed, and I believe they do that because if you, it's depending on what I don't know what size of memory sticks, but you don't put those in there. I can't remember all the details, but if you put them in, it'll slow down your memory tremendously. Your performance of your system. So you only put those in there either, I don't remember if it's actually, I think your smaller memory sticks you can put them all in, but with your bigger ones you don't. I think it's so, and these are back then pretty good sized sticks. So you might think, well, you know, if you're going to put the biggest ones it can handle, 16 gigabytes or something, or whatever it'll handle, I'm not sure. You could fill them all up, but it's actually the opposite if I remember right from watching Morton's videos. And then NIC, There we go. So there's all of their, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the MAC addresses, and then the iLO. Oh. Now I'm not sure iLO 3 and then 1, 2, 3, 4 again. But there's only 4 NICs. I was thinking those were 4 different virtual connections to the iLO, but no, that's not what that is. I don't know. There's only 4. There's 4 actual Ethernet ports and an iLO on the box. You know, on the. I'm not sure what's happening with that. Okay, so iLO 3 event log. Fans okay. Fan redundancy. Oh, it went away. Come back. Must just be reloading or something. Yeah, well, it's okay now. The virtual box was kind of, yeah, it's reloading. It'd be so good if I could just do this in my regular browser. Okay, this is iLO event log. Oh, okay. 12:01:20. Oh, it's going back 7:08:20. That's today. Okay, it's newest on top. Server power restored, power on, signal sent. Oh, okay. Login. First login for me. DNS name not found. I might not. Probably didn't. Maybe because I didn't set it. Oh, all the times when you unplugged it. Probably goes back. I don't know if it goes back from before I got it or not. Let's see. I thought it had a date in there. Those don't have a date. Let's see. There's the date. 12/10/2013 goes all the way back to 2013. For some reason, the date wasn't set in the older, even older ones. Onboard clock set. Oh, that's really cool. You can actually see kind of what's been going on with the machine even before you got it in here. You could see remote console started by admin, the IP address, name not, DNS name not found. Oh, I see. I don't know. I saw something about the DNS name in several places, but I wonder, can you search? What? Oh, yeah, see, I hit Control F. Oh, I don't want that. Control F makes it full screen. Oh, right, Control is the host. I don't want to do that because I have trouble remembering how to get out of it. Would be nice though, wouldn't it, to get rid of all the extra stuff from this system in there, but I'm not going to do it right now. Anyway, I was wondering, I was going to search for update. I was going to see if it had updated, somebody had updated the anything, but any of the I would say malware, can't say the right word. Let's see, integrated. Oh, that was iLO event log. Now integrated management log. Okay. 7/08/2020. Driver array not configured. Power supply failure, or power supply unplugged. Yes, I did that. 0702. Host error, driver array not configured. Network redundancy. There's 2 with not the date not set. 09/03/10 goes all the way back to when it was new. How about that? Driver array not configured. Well, it had to have been configured at some point. It's obviously not all the. I don't know how it picks and chooses, because it's obviously it goes back to that old of a date. But UCSV clear ML, you can probably clear it right there. Anyway, I don't know how it picks and chooses what it tells in there. Diagnostic. Let's see. General NMI to system. Non-maskable interrupt NMI button. The use of NMI may result in data loss. So I won't use it. I don't have any data on it yet, but anyway. NVRAM data okay. EEPROM okay. Host ROM okay. Support host okay. Power management 1.6. It has a controller. Oh, power management controller. And then CPLO, ProLiant programmable logic device. Does that tell you any more information? Or just this information? Oh, it's not a, I thought that was a explanation point. That's an I for information. Let me get, I've got a crack in my lip that's, I'm tasting something salty now. Must be blood. I kind of felt my lip, tighten it up, you know, and I kind of stretched it, and then I tasted blood. So usually I can get rid of it with Carmex. I use that all for years and years. I learned about, I never heard of it until the early 90s. Yeah, early 90s I learned about it, and I used to use chapstick. And my whole life, that's all I knew about. Thought was good, you know. And it's way better, but sometimes I still, and I'm not even, it's not winter and I'm not going outside, but sometimes I still have trouble, chaps that don't want to heal up. Inside agent. That's so tiny. It's got smaller. Oh, and it says it's up to 200% now, but it hasn't made those darn, it must not be working on this remote page. I wonder if I could, you know, when I was setting it up, I'm going to try it because it is just killing my eyes. I said that it, content. I told it it could allow pages to use their own fonts and stuff. I always do that because I don't want everything to be just those basic fonts. Let's try that. See what happens. I'll have to reload that page, but it's still, well, it was, some of those other ones were a little bigger. Where's the reload button? It's in the wrong place in this, from what I'm used to. Now, actually, maybe I'm not used to anything. I don't know. Maybe it's not wrong. Maybe my brain's in the wrong place. Oh, I just realized that stuff's in the wrong place. I always put it up there. Let's see if that'll make it bigger. No, did not do a thing to it. So let's go back and just put it back to normal. You can't control it. Okay. I don't think putting that on 200% is helping one bit. Oh, I'm bigger. Now it's on 300%. I put it on like 130. Can't hardly read it. There. Because did that actually make a difference? I think it did. I think it got smaller. Yeah, it did get smaller. I should have left it where it was. Go as big as I can. So it's on 300%. I don't know if it's going to get any bigger. It quit responding. No, I didn't change anything. I can just barely see it. The HP Insight Management Agent Support Browser Interface for access to, I'm not going to read it out loud. You might be able to read it because you can see better than me. I'm getting to where I'm tireder now than I was 5-6 hours ago. I'm skimming now because it's getting too hard to pay attention. Oh, okay. I should read that before I click on it. I understand. Let me read it out loud. Maybe I'll understand it. HP Insight Management Agent support or a browser interface for access to runtime management data through the HP System Management homepage. The HP System Management homepage is a secure web-based interface to consolidate and simplifies the management of individual services and operating systems by aggregating data from HP Insight Management agents and other management tools. The System Management homepage provides a intuitive interface for review, in-depth hardware configuration, and status data, performance matrix, system thresholds, and software version control information. The agent can automatically provide a link to iLO 3, or you can manually enter the link using administration management. For more information, visit so-and-so, so-and-so, Insight Agent. Let's see what it does. Sounds really cool. Oh, okay. Integrated settings are now turned off by default. What? Can't display the page. Oh, it's a particular place. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna try reloading that page and see what that was that tried to show up. If it'll show it again. It looks like it just can't work in this version I'm using of IE tab. Remote console. Launch. Oh, okay. Well, there's nothing for me to really run a console in, well, necessarily. Let's see. Access the system KVM control, virtual power and media from single console under Microsoft Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox. Microsoft.NET Framework 3.5 available through Windows Update is required. The machine reports no net framework on the machine. Okay. The Firefox user requires an add-on to allow all auto launch. Click the application. Okay. Then there's a Java console. And I think that's the one that's Java. Let's see. Recommended supported version, Java TM runtime environment 6, note. Firefox 3.6 requires Java 6 update 10 or later, note. Linux 64-bit Java not supported in this version. Oh. So you can't use the 64-bit version of Java to connect to this thing. Download it. Well, I'm not going to worry about that now. I don't know. You know, this may be the only way for me to get in here is with a virtual machine that's old. It could be an old Linux too, but I think it might be. But it still have to be in a virtual machine. I have plenty of old ISOs I could use, I could boot to. Virtual media. Here we go. This is the thing. One of the things I'm really interested in. Virtual media status. It's not talking about audio and video. Virtual media allows you to connect a floppy disk, CD, DVD-ROM, or USB key physical devices or images, that'd be ISOs, and such, to your client PC to the remote server. They appear local to the server during the system boot or while the operating system is available. You must connect virtual media from within the integrated remote console in order connect. They left out a word. They actually did local media as virtual media. What did it say? You must connect virtual media from within the integrated remote console in order to connect local media as virtual media. Okay, other virtual media options exist for users that want to script operations using RBCL XML or from iLO 3 command line interface. The one exception is that actual media will be located on the web server on the same network as the iLO 3. After the image location is configured, this iLO 3 retrieves the virtual media data directly from the web server. The labels below show the current connected status of virtual media floppy, USB key, the virtual media CD-ROM. Okay, virtual media port 17988, I think. Virtual CD-ROM drive status, no. Virtual floppy, no. But there is virtual media port 17988. Well, how do we put one in it? Refresh the page. I've seen Morton do with ISOs a lot. Sometimes you've got to you can do it over the network, and that's what I was thinking. Oh, I'd love to do that, but I'm not serving up an SSH server on my Lenovo i5, I don't believe. I guess I might be able to put one on the laptop over there and get to it, but I'm not seeing anything right here that just says connect, you know. I want to. There's a place where you connect them. Oh, I think it's back off in some other section. Maybe not even, I can't remember. I don't think it's in the RAID setup. No, it wouldn't be. But I don't see anything. Well, I'm just in the, well, this is, yeah, this is, I guess there's this main page and it just takes to everything in iLO. But anyway, 17988, I believe is what that says. Refresh page. It highlighted it when I kind of, well, that seems to be set, and so it's not going to change. I mean, I don't want to change it. I don't care. Whatever it is, that's fine. I just want to know how to connect, how to point something at it. Virtual media port. Okay, well, power management is what I'm really, server power settings. Okay, yeah, you can actually change them here, I think. Okay, server is currently on, momentary press and hold, cold boot, reset. Oh, cool. Oh, this is just the power, controlling the power button. Automatically power on the server, no. Minimum delay, yes, okay. Power meter. You know, I don't think it is as loud as it was when I started tonight, because I'm beginning to be able to kind of forget about it. And I couldn't before, and of course not when I got it really loud when I... Okay, let's see. 24-hour history graph. Power consumption over the last 24 hours at 5-minute intervals. Oh, okay. It has gone up to 280 watts is the top. So it's gotten... not quite, I don't know exactly, it's just a graph, so 264 watts, it does tell you. Oops. You hold it right on the line, 264 watts, okay. 257, 259, 165, 155, average, peak, okay. This is really cool. 160 watts, you know exactly what you're using here. And so then whenever, oh, that's real time. So it's using 160 watts right now. This one says power consumption in the past 20 minutes. Okay, so it's changing, but not super fast. But 163 watts. So when I start using that video card and stuff, I can see what it's doing, you know, what it's taking to run it. Recent recent. Let me get the longer I look at this, the word present, PRESENT power reading present. What the heck? 155 watts. Is that just present? Yeah. Present power reading, 155 watts. Okay. Power input voltage, 115. Power regulator mode, dynamic. Power history. Minimum, maximum. 155, 165, 155. 20 minutes, 24 hours. 24 hours, 154, 164, 171. Of course, it would be running 24/7 if you had it up as a server. Now I'm putting power settings. See if you can change power settings in there. Yes, you can. HP dynamic power savings mode. And then you got static low power, static high power, and OS control. Yeah, that's the things I was doing. Got it in dynamic now. I think that is the quietest I've heard it since I put the video card in it. So that may be as quiet as it's going to get with that video card in it. And I may have to. I'll either have to put it in the rack and put a insulated box around it, or put it in, or buy a box. I have some stuff where I might could make one. I have an insulated some sheet metal that's got insulation on it for air conditioning stuff that my neighbor gave me. He's the air conditioning guy. And I have, anyway, I've got some stuff that I could maybe do it with. But I don't want that. I'm not sure what that insulation is. It's that dark brown stuff. It's not just regular oil, but it still may be fiberglass. I don't want no fiberglass in here. That stuff makes me bleed. I hate that stuff. Much less the itching like crazy. I had to work. I didn't actually, I've never installed insulation more than just a little bit here and there, because I had to work with it. Well, because I hated it, but also I had to work with it big time when I worked at GD. And when they loaned, I was a hand finisher, but they loaned me out down in the what did they call that? No, I was a tool maker, and they loaned me out down. I got loaned out a couple of different times to different departments over the years. When I was a tool maker, I was down to the, I keep wanting to say model, but it's not model. It was, they had huge aluminum parts. They were stretcher dies and stuff. And they would stretch aluminum parts like 2024 aluminum over it and stuff like that. Anyway, they were making either redoing or making these parts. And so they had these big plaster casts that were held. They were made with fiberglass to make them strong. And so, let's see, how did I get into the fiberglass so much? I can't remember, but anyway, all the grinding you did would you'd be covered in fiberglass dust. And anyway, you had to grind it. They call it bluing it in. And I did that on a small scale in my regular shop with small dies, like so big. These were, you had to have a crane to pick them up. They're big as my desk, and they're like, usually they just look like a big hump, look like a big old camel, a big elephant's back or something, not quite as big as an elephant, but more like a baby hippo or something. I don't know. But anyway, you put the template, the form. I can't remember what we called it. We didn't call it a template. You set it down on it. You have bluing. You have blue artist paint. It is actually in the tube. You squeeze it out, and you'd mix it with some oil paint. Persian blue, I guess, is what it really was. And I don't remember. I've learned a little bit more about Persian blue and how it was invented and stuff in it recently. So now that was Persian blue, or I always thought it said Prussian blue. I think, which that is actually, I think, the proper way to pronounce Persian, but or that's the way it's spelled. But anyway, I'm not sure. Anyway, you set the cast down on it, and it would, make marks where it had touched. And where it touched, it makes marks, and where it doesn't touch, it doesn't disturb the paint. And you pick it up, and then you grind with a little 2 or 3 inch disc until you're trying to get the thing to touch everywhere within a certain allowable amount of dark spaces, dark blue spaces. I hated that worse than anything because it was so monotonous, and I would always do too much or not enough, And if you go too far, then you end up, like you may like just a little bit, and if you go too much right there, you've either got to weld some aluminum back on there, or you've got to keep working on the whole wrist of it to make it fit, And plus the fiberglass was just killing me. Anyway, doing it on a small scale I didn't like, but I could do it. But on the big scale, I was no good at it. And I stayed down there a month or two, and then they sent me back home, and I was glad. There wasn't no air conditioning down there either. And we had air conditioning everywhere else in the whole plant. That was at the south end. Have you ever heard anything about General Dynamics in Fort Worth? If you ever worked there, you know if you worked there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was in the die grinding area, I believe is what they called it. It's down by the acid etch, just before you get to acid etch. And I did work in acid etch, grinding cracks out of parts so they could have them welded. That was the first time I got it. When I was a hand finisher, I got loaned that down there a lot. And every time I worked in that acid etch area, I would get a sore throat, and it felt like I was coming down with a cold, and it would last for about 2 weeks after I went back home, back to my other shop. And that was a volunteer thing. You didn't have to go down there. They always asked for volunteers. But I like the guys down there, and I got along with them real good. And it was interesting to learn something new, but then after I started realizing that every time I went down there, it took me 2 weeks to get over it, I realized, well, what the heck is that doing to you, So I started saying, I don't really want to go down there unless you really, really need me to, and they quit asking me. I told them why, too. They were like, why? I thought you liked it. I said, well, this is why. Okay, power cap value should be between 154 and 1500 watts. Okay. Disable capping. What it's set on. Manual control. And you have to hit apply to apply that stuff. Percent. Looks like it's set to 52%. Well, no, it's disabled. Okay. SNMP alert on breach of power threshold. Warning trigger. Warnings disabled. Warning threshold, so and so. Other settings, persistent mode and keyboard enabled. Oh, persistent mouse and keyboard enabled. Yeah, that's good. We don't want to lose those. I'm not sure why it's what it's got to do with the power setting. I guess just to make sure they're always active, they're not going to sleep. When that stuff, your mouse and keyboard, USB mouse and keyboard goes to sleep, sometimes you got to reboot the machine to get them to wake up again on all Windows machines. Now let's see what we got down here. Administration. Oh, okay. iLO firmware. Come on in. There we go. October 2210. It's never been updated. Obtain the firmware image bin file from the online ROM flash component for HP. And a lot of these pages that, the links that'll be in some of this stuff, if there's a link, or in the manual, the links in the manual are, some of them work. When I first got 10 months ago when I got the server, or 11 months ago now, I guess, some of them worked, some of them didn't. Now some of them that I think used to work don't work. They're just getting rid of those pages, They're archiving a bunch of it. You just have to be able to find it now, But it's not, you can't go straight to it from the manual links anymore. Some of it I think really is completely gone. The latest component can be downloaded from, I'm not going to try to go there because the machine can't handle a lot of extra work. The machine I'm streaming from. This component also available on HP ProLiant firmware maintenance CD. And then update iLO firmware by uploading a local file. So if you had the file, you could browse to it and That's what I was hoping to find in that other deal about the virtual media as a place to browse and add something, add an ISO, you know. It's probably somewhere else. I think you just have to turn it on in here maybe and then go do it somewhere else. Navigating away from this page before the upload is completing will prevent the upload from starting. Yes, so don't do that. Yeah, so if I have to want to do something that I don't have the support for, I might be able to upload. But that's just the iLO firmware. That's not like all the other firmware. There are so many different firmware things you can. It's cool, but boy, it's a lot to learn and figure out how to do it. But pretty much any hardware in the machine, there could be a firmware upgrade for it. Licensing, there we go. Oh, there's a license key for the iLO. That's why this. I was looking. I hadn't seen anything that's not active, not usable yet. So overwrite the current license key if you have multi-server activation key. Okay. What I saw, I can't even right click and this thing's just not going to handle it. Click over here now. Yeah, so I can't even, I can't do a screenshot or really anything. Oh, there it is. Copy. I wanted to put it somewhere. I just put it in a sticky note because that opens up really quick and doesn't use much resources. I should have just oh yeah, you can't do. Oh yeah, you can. Should be able to. I did Control V, but oh, I see. I didn't turn that on, did I? See, I've got my clipboard is from the XP. I can tell because it looks different. But the I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Control V doesn't work. I know that. But yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, see, there's nothing in there. I didn't ever turn it on to share in XP virtual machine. I never did. Oops, what happened? Oh, I did not mean to. It's not it. There, shared clipboard. It's disabled. Let's see if I can do bidirectional. Now let's try it. Oh yeah, no, it still didn't work. I'll try one more time because it really would be helpful to have that. Guess I could do it in XP, couldn't I? There we go. Was it 380? Big O. There, I believe that is it. Because if I lost that other somehow, I would want to still have it. Wouldn't want to lose it completely. So I was noticing that I wasn't seeing, okay, users. Yeah, we got an administrator, we got an admin, we got Dawn, and we got NYX admin. I will end up deleting the ones I don't want. I don't think I'd want to delete administrator. Probably that's probably the default. But I added Dawn in the iLO BIOS. You know, it's the first time I've been into the remote iLO, and then directory groups, we got administrators and authenticated users. Okay. And access settings. The lights out subsystem must be restarted before port or lights out functionality changes you make on the screen will take effect. Pressing the apply button can't read it, it's so tiny. Terminates your browser connection. Oh, okay. And restarts the lights out. This is if you're changing this stuff, okay. Three changes have been made to enable disable settings for lights out functionality. I just realized something. I do have a machine with an SD card slot. This one, I might be able to put this SD card in the real SD card slot of this server, boot it to an USB stick, and then like Fedora, well, I don't have Fedora 29, I took it off, but I think there might be Blivet GUI on that installer. But anyway, I could use whatever, any live distro that has gparted on it, and boot it to a USB stick and format that thing while it's in here. As long as it'll show up, I bet it would. I could probably format it with the RAID. I don't know if it'll do FAT32, but well, actually, if I was gonna use it to boot from that, actually, run it as the system drive disk, I would just do it how you're supposed to do it. I guess you'd do that with the RAID setup. But let's see. Okay, let's go back. Restarts the iLO 3. Changes have been made to enable or disable port settings or lights out functionality. You must wait at least 30 seconds before attempting to reestablish a connection. Service, SSH access, shell it's enabled. Port 22, normal port. Remote console 17900. Web server. Now all these drop down menus, I can't copy and paste those. I'd have to do a screenshot. Let's see. I have not ever got this to see if you hit. Well, that's just gonna. Problem is when you or does it count down? I can't remember now. Like if I do that, will it do a? No, you don't have. I don't. It won't wait, and I don't remember where to put it in there to wait. But this one doesn't use up so many resources. If I open up my actual favorite Shutter screenshot capture, it uses up too many resources. Let's see. But I guess let's go ahead and read through this. I think I can use it and then close it, turn it off. What I'll have to do, I think. And then web server non-SSL port 80. Web server SSL port 443. Those are standard ports. Virtual media port 17988. Okay. That's where you set that. IPM, DMI, I'm not sure what those are. LAN enabled. That is probably some kind of remote thing. Let's see. IPMI/DCMI over LAN. Oh, okay, yep. And what port it is, and then access option, idle connection timeout, 30 minutes. Lights out functionality enabled. ROM-based setup utility enabled. Require login for iLO 3 RBSU disabled. Seems like you'd want that. I'm going to leave it because I don't know enough about it right now. Show iLO 3 during post enabled. Require login for iLO 3 RBSU. That might be getting in the BIOS of it, and I certainly don't want to disable that. I think that's what it is. Yeah, RBSU. That is the BIOS. That's what they call the BIOS. Okay, so no, do not make a login for that. On the local machine, you're actually on the machine. Serial command line interface enabled, authenticated. Right. Serial command line interface speed 9600 bits, or we used to call it bits per second, or baud. They used to call it the baud rate. Minimum password length 8 characters. Server name. Authentication failure logging every third try. Okay. Very good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that screenshot. That is stuff that I need to know without actually being in here, you know. And when Shutter opens up, let's see, every thumbnail you have in here, which is not a thumbnail, it's a full-size image, it keeps using more and more memory. So, and it still uses too much memory, so I always do what I want to do now and then quit. Right-click and quit. Let's see, what does that do? Desktop. And it'll count down 7 seconds. Gives you time to get your cursor where you want it. I can't get the I guess it's the Mate screenshot tool. Used to be Genome 2 screenshot tool. Now security. I'm wondering, yeah. Oh, no public key. Yeah, none of that's. Oh, you can install SSH public keys. Oh, okay. Authorize new key. Delete selected keys. Certificate. There's the one they said wasn't any good. It said it was impersonating a different website or something. Issued by Hewlett Packard. Directory. LDAP. Disabled. Local user accounts. Enabled. Directory server LDA. Oh, that's what 85 is the LDAP port. You can put a bunch more in there if you want. Directory server. So it's got a LDAP kind of defaulted into its firmware. I really don't know much about it and what to use it for. I've never. If I needed it, I did. If I needed it, I never have known it. You know, I didn't need it from websites. Didn't really need to do local networking. So, but LDAP directory. It's a directory server. I guess because I've always used different types of ways to get in. You know, get into directories. That's what it is. I kind of tried to learn about it a little bit, but the way I always tried to learn about things was I would install them. I would go in the repos and find them and install them and then try them out. And most of it, you know, well, half of what I tried I could do, I could figure it out. And the other half I couldn't figure it out, so I quit messing with it. Sometimes if it was something I really wanted to do, I would go read documentation until I got it working. Encryption. Got to be restarted. RSA with RC4. It's got to be really old RSA. Then encryption enforcement settings. Enforce AE. These are going to be so old. They got to be. I mean, this thing is still on 2010 stuff. I know what an RSA key is, and I've used them. Well, see, like Crusader, my favorite file manager, used to could just set up, you could just log in with your username and password to other machines, but they quit. They took that function there. They thought it was too risky, and they took it out, and you have to set up a pre-shared key and pre-shared RSA key and all that stuff. I don't remember all the details, what to call it right, but it's a HP SIM SSO. I thought it said ISO. Single sign-on trust mode. Trust none SSO disabled. It's not set up. Okay. User privileges. Is that remote management? Like from the internet? Login, remote console. Oh, okay. Remote login, remote console, power reset. Oh, these are all the different things you could do and from how, like login. That must be on the local machine. Remote, user, operator, administrator. You can do remote console if you're operator privileges and user. Power reset, not just user, but operator privileges and administrator. Virtual media, user, operator. Oh, okay. I actually want to do virtual media, but I don't mind being, I don't really want just to be any user, I don't think. Configure iLO, only administrator. Administrative users. There, okay. Remove HP SIM server. SIM. HP SIM SSO, but it's trust none SSO disabled. Trust all, trust by name, trust by certificate. I guess I would trust by name because the certificates are going to be pretty. I don't think I'm going to turn it on right now, but I may need to turn that on. It looks like I need to turn that on if I'm going to, well, if you can use any of this stuff, period. But like the virtual media that I do want to do, like I could just boot it up to ISOs on my. Actually, what I can do, probably the easiest thing to do would be to take my, I have 2 backup drives, and my 5 terabyte, my Lenovo i5 backs up to the 5 terabyte. And then after that, it backs up from the 5 terabyte to the 8 terabyte. So I could actually unplug the 8 terabyte, plug it into the server, and should have everything that's on the other one, all my ISOs, everything. And then just, if I can figure out how to, I don't know if this would be necessary. This is remote stuff. Well, the virtual, yeah, I think I would have to turn that on, and probably by name. I'm not sure. I have to figure that out. I'm not sure. I might have to just say trust all, just sort would work. I just don't want to open this thing up to the internet and somebody jack it up, while especially I'm making a video and somebody's ha ha ha, and get in here and mess it up. There are plenty of people that know how to do those things. But yeah, the virtual media, I mean, that's probably the best way to do it, the way it's set up. Well, I can kind of tell by looking at it, but also, this was an enterprise server, so it's not going to be set up really stupid. I can tell by the way it was what I've already seen in the IO BIOS, that it was set up as an enterprise or a company. It may not have been like a huge server farm, but it was some kind of company using it, So it was set. It seems to be. It's not going to set up risky. I haven't seen anything that I know for sure is risky. Like this is turned off, which is this stuff could end up being risky if not set up properly. I know that. But I do think that it could be really easier than putting, like I'm going around in circles. How am I going to get my Fedora 2032 put on my SD card, and then end up getting an iLO. Well, I just thought, well, I'm here, I'll try iLO. I won't have to do all that. I can just boot to any ISO I want to and just keep trying out different ISOs. That'd be cool. Straight off that USB drive, or yeah, I don't have. I can look right here. Oh, I do have SSH running on here. I don't have the ports open, I don't think. I might have went ahead and set that up because I kept needing to transfer files. No FTP. Yeah, I'm not running an FTP server. I may have installed it and then just disabled it. I took it out of the startup. I can't remember now. I'd have to go look. I could look at my startup and stuff and see if I've got some disabled stuff, and I might have to go look in my DNF, see what's installed in DNF. Anyway, that's not what I want to do right now. So there's a clue of what I'm going to be getting into. one of the things I know I'm going to have to enable enough in here to be able to let the virtual media work. Remote console. It's disabled. Yeah, I don't want remote consoles enabled on here. Thus, I'm sure I know how to set it up safely so that it's only on my local network and not on the internet. Windows custom disable. I guess I'd have to do custom for Linux, I suppose. Integrated remote console trust settings disable. Secure IRC. IRC, I've never used IRC. That's a chat protocol. Requires a trusted certificate. Okay. I used to, when I first got on the internet, got on AOL, and was on the and started getting into the internet. You know, people, the cool chat was IRC. Everybody that knew what the heck they were doing was on IRC. I never did. I tried it out, and I never was good at chatting. Everything moves too fast for me, and when I did chat, I just used, you know, Yahoo Chat or AIM Chat, AOL AIM Chat or something. Let's see. Network. Okay. Got to restart. I'm not going to try to read that tiny text anymore. I'm just going to the long sentences. Got it. DHCP enabled. Subnet mask. It's all. You know, where it's there, but you can't change it, which that's because it's DHCP, I imagine. I guess if you, disable DHCP, then you could put what you want in there. That's what I'm guessing. I have seen them want to do that kind of stuff a lot, but not in the HP machines, it's in the IBM machines. Yeah, it's all DHCP, and that's the way I want it. And if I want to set a static IP, I just set it in my router. You know, it's easy, and you can if you want to change it, you can change it real quick. You don't have to remember how to go through 100 menus to fix it, you know, all the different operating systems and stuff. Yep, that's all talking about DHCP, ping gateway on startup, enable DDNS server registration. That is enabled. DDNS is see, dynamic. Well, I can't remember what the letters are, but like I'm running my website and my dynamic DNS, that's what I think it is. My ISP changes my IP address once in a while, my public IP address, the one that you need to point to for your websites to work. So you can use a DDNS service to have a DDNS server to always point to your website, and I use one, but I don't have it set up in my router because, well, I couldn't figure out how to make it work. I've done it before, but it's luckily my ISP doesn't change it. You know, it'll happen a couple times a year. So, you know, my website usually sometimes, you know, it'll be down more often than that from weather and stuff. You know, the internet going down or the electricity going off or whatever. So I just if I have a service that watches my uptime on my websites, and I get emails, and if I see that my website's down, then I go and everything's okay, but then I narrow it down to, oh, it might be my IP address has changed, and I'll go change it. I'm too getting tired. I can't explain it all, but I need to be showing it for it to make any sense anyway. I have used it, but it can be easy and it can be hard. It depends on how if your router's set up for it and it's it's easy to set up, easy to do, then it's easy. But like my D-Link router that I'm using now, I never did get it working in that. With the service that I'm using, what's it called? FreeDNS something.org or something. Anyway, NIC setup. Okay. Same Yeah, mostly it's just telling you got to restart it. So control enabled, link enabled, virtual LAN. It doesn't have virtual LANs enabled. I think the automatic is along with the enabled, and then virtual LANs, and then VLAN tag, MAC address, so and so. So that's not turned on, and I don't think I really need that. I don't need a whole bunch of IP addresses for sure. You might need that if you were, like if I put my websites on here. See, would that work? No, not from when you're on a commercial. If you can have more than one public IP, then that might help. But if you can only have one public IP like me with my ISP, then all your websites have to point to the same IP. And that's one reason why I use that free DNS deal, because I can point them all to that same IP. That's another reason why I use it. Okay, so SNTP settings. Error making SNTP settings. Something's not working on that. SNTP. That's a Java error. I don't know what's going on with that. First one I've seen, it was an error. Oh, management. It's way down there at the bottom. That's not all that we need. Okay. SNMP. That's one I see a lot. SNTP is different. Anyway, it's enabled. Forward Insight Manager. It's enabled. Pass through. SNMP. Pass through enabled. Configure SNMP alerts. They're not configured. And Insight Manager web agent URL. That URL is a number. I think that's that's the default name. I think it might be on one of the tags of the machine. And the port, it's standard. You can't change it. And then level of data returned. iLO 3 server association data. Disabled, that's it. Either enabled or disabled. Okay. View XML. Well, I'm not going to do that. It says view XML reply. XML is, if you don't know what it is, it's kind of a sort of a variation on HTML, but it's got, anyway. Well, let's just see what it's going to do. I've seen several different times when you can do that. There you go. It's kind of like HTML, but depends on what all it's showing. I was going to say it's more complicated, but right there it looks pretty simple. But this is basically the back end of what makes this stuff here work. Look like a, human readable page. But see if it goes back to normal when I go back in there. I think it will. Yeah. And you can work in that. I mean, if you know how, I think you could, you could edit it and then hit apply, I think. No, that wouldn't do it. That applies for this up here. So, virtual media. That's the one thing I would like to be able to do. Oh, okay. Virtual media port, virtual CD, DVD status. I'm still not sure where you, that's in that, that port there's in the thing I saved already. I was starting to say, do I need to save that information? But I think, though, where is the, I don't know if I can. That's the one that doesn't work. I've already lost my spot. Access settings. Yeah, I did a screenshot of that. Administrators. Give me a screenshot of that. I forgot I left that going. That's one reason why I hate to open it up, because I'm always, you know, I forget so easy. Show the window. See, now you got those. Those are using up memory. I want to close that now while I'm thinking about it. Let's go see what we've been doing. Well, that's good. I'm going a long time now. As long as you don't keep giving XP, you know, open too many applications and stuff, and it depends on what kind of web page you're on. Luckily, this is not a high resource user. I was able to stay in here and look through everything. There's a home button and a sign out. But wherever the, I don't even know where it was now. Yeah, there's virtual media, so it's somewhere between virtual media and here where you can turn it on. That's what I was. Already went in there. I might be in the security. Local user accounts are enabled. LDAP is disabled. Encryption. There it is. HP SIM SSO. Okay. So, trust by name. I'll have to wait on that. So when I'm not so I'm getting really tired now. And make sure I know what I'm doing. But now let's hit the home button, see what that's like. Yeah, that's where I started. Takes you back up to overview. I'm just going to put it there. I'll organize them later. So UID off. Oh, it's not UID. Let's see what it is. Doggone it. Yeah, it's UID, user ID. That's UUID, and that's UID. Okay. Now it makes sense. There is something I would really like to do, though. So that's everything that it looks like I can do in there. And I did have a license in there. God, as much as I saw that could be done, I think that is a license that makes that happen. I think there'd be a lot less that you could do. Seems like I read in the manual that you can't change very much, and you can change anything I saw in there. You know, anything that's in here, I could change it. But what I want to do is, I think I'm going to have to turn that on to something that will single sign-on settings. Oh, that's not single sign-on settings. Yeah, I don't even really know what that's used for. So, remote console, that's disabled too. Don't need that now. I mean, that console is that's not for your operating system. That's for this machine, and I really wouldn't know anything about what to do in the console on the, within the, well, I guess it'd be the remote console for iLO is what it is, yeah, so I wouldn't know what to do in there, or in anywhere else in the machine in the console. Directory. I haven't seen anything that reminds me of something that Morton showed on the IBMs or Lenovo's. As far as being able to put an ISO in here and let the machine boot to it. I wonder if you have to put it in a virtual LAN or something. I don't think so. I know some of them something I wouldn't expect. Now, what SNTP? SN, not SM. You look at that. Usually it's SMTP, not SNTP. I don't know what that is. So, virtual media. Did I read all that? Let me look at it. I'm just going to read it. You've got to connect virtual media for when the integrated remote console. Oh, in order to connect local media as virtual media. Oh, virtual media. Okay, local media as virtual media. Other virtual media options exist for users that want to. Oh yeah, script operations. From the command line interface, the iLO command. And one exception is that actual image will be located on the web server on the same network of iLO3. After the image location is configured, the iLO3 retrieves the virtual media data directly from the web server. The tables below show the current connected status of virtual media, floppy, USB, virtual media. Maybe that's my USB stick that it's booted to. That's on 17986. I'm going to open up check my thing again. And then virtual, I think it would be a virtual CD DVD ROM is what it would be. Virtual floppy. But where do I, connect one? I don't know. And the virtual other one would, I guess it might be the, yeah, it could be telling me that that's the virtual port of my USB stick. I'm not sure. I'm not knowing enough here on that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, still working. That's good. Okay, so oh, there's a question mark. Let's see what if it would tell me something about how to do that. I didn't see that before. Opened it up in another page. Now it may just not be able to go to the page because it's going to try to go to the HP website. And like I said, they ended support several years ago on these. So, but they did still have some stuff up on the website. And with this old of a browser, it may not be able to. The IE tab plugin may be busy or stop working. You can stop the plugin now, or you can continue. Better say continue. I don't want it to stop what I'm doing over there from working. It didn't work. Oh, it is. Help virtual. Yes, it did. Help virtual media. I keep wanting to make it bigger, but it won't get bigger. Integrated virtual media. Virtual floppy USB keys. Got to connect it from within the integrated remote console. Okay, that's something else. Integrated remote console. Oh, you know what? It calls it a console, but it's not an actual command line interface. Sometimes I keep forgetting that. Was this server stuff? And some other, they call it a console. What remote admin stuff? They'll call it a console when it's not. When I hear console, I think terminal window, command line interface. Some of them are actually graphic user interfaces. Maybe they started out a long time ago being consoles. They just still call them that. Or Java integrated remote console to connect local media such as virtual media. Other options exist. Yeah, the scripting. Virtual media privilege. This is one thing I do know that would not work without the right license. I'm pretty sure that I remember that. Okay, so I'm just going to do make a new note. I don't use these that much, but sometimes I do this when now I can. I guess I could probably do that. Hey, that worked. Control V. So this, I guess it works when it's in the when it's in your there. Okay, and it's bigger where I can read it. I'm just so happy that I finally figured out how to get into the iLO, but I'm getting so tired. I'm punchy, so I'm just gonna have to quit fooling with this. But yeah, I might be able to figure out how to. I either figure out how to mount an ISO and boot from that, which would be really cool. I can just boot from to my heart's content with ISOs. Virtual Media Console. I didn't see. I don't remember. That may be in here somewhere. Wish I could search through this whole thing here. See, you can do this and search. Fine. Control F, but that doesn't work. Didn't a while ago anyway. Let's see, do I have? Okay. I do remember seeing something about console. Remote console. This is in the last used. None. Oh, okay. Remote console. Ah, yes, I remember this now. Java integrated. Well, I didn't click on that before. Java page you're reviewing uses Java. More information. Okay. Let's see if it opens it up in another window. I do remember seeing this kind of a thing, and I just didn't click on that because I started to, and I thought, no, let's read everything first. And then after I did, I thought, oh, I don't think it's going to work. Maybe I don't have the right one installed. Oh, yeah, download JVM. I didn't click on that, did I? Yeah, that's going to their server, manage JVM. That's what I needed to do to be able to. Now, if I'd have followed on through with that, I'd have found it early on. That's what I needed to do. Well, assuming that anything at all is going to come up. Might be able to get there, and I'm still in IE tab. I might be able to get there and have it work in regular Firefox. I'm going to go ahead and try bookmarking that if I can. It's probably going to do the same thing and say it can't work. We'll see. Well, the last one said it was taking too long, and then it ended up working. I have that happen all the time on this machine. Just when I'm using new Firefox on YouTube or something. But Yeah, it's taking all day to come in there, that's for sure. Oh, the address went away now. Wondering if I can open a new tab, but no, I don't know. You might not be able to have a regular Firefox tab and an IE tab. Oh, I know what I can do. Copy and paste. Well, that means I'd have to open up Firefox. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. It's too much. Normally I would open up Firefox on my main machine and just, go to it there, since I'm sharing the clipboard successfully now. I want to close that. I'm afraid it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna work. No, it doesn't even want to. Let's see. Can I copy that link? Copy shortcut. Now let's see. I'll try it and see if it's going to be a regular. Try opening a new tab and see. Yeah, see, it's not responding too good. Java can be bad about overdoing things, Ooh, I got two of them. Okay, I think that is a normal Firefox tab. Let's try and paste and go in regular Firefox. Don't really like going to anything on the internet in this old version, though. Well, thing is, it might have used to been, yeah, oops, the page is no longer there. It might be somewhere else, like in some archives or something, but see, that came up right away to tell you that page is gone. But just opening up one more tab is really working the thing. Yeah, see. Okay. But you have to download that. That's what I need to be doing. Okay, and then I guess that might actually be telling you that it doesn't have what you need right there. Well, .NET Framework, well, I mean, if you have the version saved from back in the day, and it might not be too hard to install, but for Firefox users, also requires an add-on to allow to launch Click Once applications. Visit Firefox add-ons site and find it. Oh. Okay. So it was trying to do it when I was doing it in an IE tab. Open a new window. Well, let's try it anyway. It opened it in another. Yeah, it used to say that, and it really opened it in another tab. Yeah, it's not going to work. And then what happened when I did it that way? Oh, okay. You got to go see more info and all that. Yeah, so that's what I need to do. I got to have that working. Now I get it. Okay. I think I will one more time do some screenshots. Do one more screenshot anyway. That should be enough to help me. Yeah, I'm saving them on my host machine, on my Linux system. Then I can still look at them without booting up. I have that set up to save directly to my screenshots folder on my main machine. So, very cool. Let's go to home again. Local user Dawn, iLO, host name. Yeah. Oh, I know what I want to do. Momentary press and hold, toggle on and off. There was another place where you could do that, but I'm going to press and hold until it shuts down. I guess I'm holding down my mouse button. That makes sense to me. It's not going to shut down. Are you sure you want to press and hold this device? Yes, yes I do. Oh, I see. There it goes. Shut it down. So I guess it didn't pop that little message up until I let go of it. I was causing it to delay. Very cool. So now I know that that's where I can log in. I have a way to do that. Like it's really great. Well, it's great for a lot of things, but you know, booting and rebooting this machine and not being able to reach the button was wearing me smooth out, jumping up and down like that. 192.168.0.192, and then the web UI not there. You could have that, but I don't want that. Some of that security, I guess that's where it was turned off. Okay. Hello. That was so simple. Once it was all up and running, ready to go, I just needed a browser that would work. And I had forgotten that the IE tab was in here. Maybe I installed it the last time I tried it, and you know what, I may have. And then it wasn't running good, you know, and I couldn't get any. I remember the last couple of times I got in here trying to do things with the web browsers, especially on the server, trying to do iLO and whatnot. It was hanging up and about to mess up my machine, you know, and lock it up and stuff. Add-ons, that's where I was trying to go. Personalize your Firefox extensions, and seeing if I need. Well, none of those were Flash, so I'm going to leave FlashBlock as it is because it is very helpful. But the vast safe price thing, I'm not going to go shopping on here. It's either enable or disable. You can't uninstall it if you have the Avast security deal. And I thought, well, since this is not getting any more updates, that's a good thing to leave in there. Assuming it gets updated. I think it does. I'm not sure. Actually. Oh, 11. Well, of course, these things usually update automatically when they get ready to. Let's see, where is it? Oh, that one doesn't have options. It may not. It may be too old to be of any use. Let's see if this one's been updated. Oh, I didn't know I was opening. Oh, page after page. Oh, that's the settings. I don't use Firefox Sync anymore because I lost about 3 months worth of, when I lost, several years ago now, I lost 3 months worth of bookmarks because it deleted all my bookmarks. But I didn't lose all my bookmarks because I had backups of them on my system. But and does want, like, there's no way to get old, like if these don't come in there. Well, that's for Windows version of Firefox, I guess is why. But there's some really old add-ons from before Firefox changed its add-on format that keep getting installed. There's one or two of them that keep getting installed if I do try syncing. Because I have done sync only the add-ons, not the bookmarks, you know. I have done that, but it's got to where it's too big of a pain to mess with that. So I just don't use it all anymore. I used to use it for years, several years I used it. But okay. Leave that right there. I think I'm going to see if I can. Yeah. What I'm wondering is if I try to go to those bookmarks, will it open it up in the IE tab again, or will it open it up in regular Firefox and not work like it did before? So I was wondering about putting this. I'll just do that. There, bookmarks toolbar. Right there. That says Chrome, IE tab. says Chrome. Now, a lot of these add-ons and stuff say Chrome when they, I don't know why. In Firefox, I need to rename that. It's got the whole URL, but it does says IE tab 2 and all that stuff. Come on. There's the IP address way down on the end. So I'm just going to say iLO. That should work. Okay. I'll close it now. Anything else? I don't think there's anything in here that would be useful. I can't get the USB to show up in here, so I can't try seeing if any of that'll work. And I'm tempted to stick that SD card in the machine or something. Now, I could do that before I quit. I'm going to shut this virtual machine down now. Yes, please turn off. And let's see. Well, let's just. No, I don't want to open up another anything until that's finished shutting down. I'll just switch over there. Thought I heard music coming out of my speaker for a minute there. Oh, I might have. I might have heard that XP shutting down. But it sounded like my beginning or ending music of my OBS Studio, and I was like, what? Did I click on the wrong thing? So, yeah, I know I'm getting tired when I completely stop talking and don't hardly realize it. So, are you working? There we go. So that's all okay. Now, the stream, I mean. I guess I go back to the desktop then if I want to. Okay, that's shut down. See, XP is still good for something. There's quite a few things. All those icons on my desktop, that's stuff that I use from time to time in XP. XP is my favorite Windows system I ever used. Well, 3.1 in XP. 3.1, actually, when I got into Linux and started learning, I was like, man, this makes sense. And there's human readable config files and stuff in there, like 3.1. And that you could edit it and make things happen, and know it and figure out what you're doing, be able to understand it. And so I thought I would do this. CMO on. Yeah, it should show up in a minute. I've got my preview up there still. Yeah. So, that lip just won't quit hurting and causing trouble. Ow. There's a little hole in the end of that Carmex. If you've never seen Carmex, anyway, there's a little hole in the end of it, and I hadn't squeezed it. I didn't want to squeeze it too hard. It'll either nothing come out or too much. So I was scraping that spot on my lip, that split lip, with that little hole that lets the Carmex come out. Okay, what was I going to do? I just thought that'd be a quick, easy way to show what I was thinking of doing here. Okay, show me doing. Let's see. Yeah, there's that SD card. Now here is its adapter. And once I got the phones, I realized I only had one SD card. It was a regular size for my Raspberry Pi, and it's like 4 gigabyte. It's not big enough to do much with, you know. It was just barely big enough for just the basic, you know, Raspberry and stuff. And once I got the phones, I was like, that's the way to go. Always get the micros, and then they come with the adapter for the full size, and they'll go in the phone. Anything that wants a micro SD, and it'll also go in anything that wants a full size, and work great. So what I'm going to do is go over here, and I guess, yeah, as long as I don't have any problem with losing. Yeah, as long as I don't have any problem with losing Wi-Fi or anything. And I've been on the SM58, so my audio shouldn't be super behind. Oh, I need to click over to the, yeah, the preview saved me. I would have been showing you OBS Studio the whole time. Okay, my stream got red though. Why did it do that? And my mouse is not wanting to work right. Why is that? Is the machine overwhelmed? I don't hear the fan going real fast, but I can't, I'm on my laptop trying to just check the audio. The mouse is going crazy and won't go anywhere where I want it to go. There, I accidentally hit it. Oh, it always helps to turn the mouse the right direction. It was turned around backwards. I don't know how that happened. No, it's fine. I guess I was clicking the wrong button. I don't know how I managed to click any button. But yeah, now I just wanted to see if I had sound. Oh, I see what happened. That's a wireless mouse, and this one's wired, and the wire gets a hold of it and throws it for a loop. So it must have turned it all the way around. So I was going to open up the good old server. Oh, I forgot. Now that I got the video card in there, in order to get to the SD card slot, I have to take, I used to reach through there, through that hole. See, the power supplies are over there, and that's not even warm. So the cooling's working really good, because I just turned that off a minute ago. Well, that's cool. But I was going to put that, I don't want to take, I'm too tired to go through all that. I'll have to take the power supplies aren't hot either. It's definitely cooling good. In order to get to that, yeah, it goes like right over in here or right over in there. I could almost get to the USB slot, but that's not what I was wanting. I was just going to stick it in there and see if it showed up one way or the other. But right now, I'm so tired. I don't even know how. I don't know how I would do that. What I would be doing. I mean, I can boot to. Well, I don't have that installer. All I could do with this USB stick is install. It doesn't have a live operating system, so that wouldn't help me. But yeah, not being able to see the that SD card. I could try the other brand new one and see if it doesn't show up, but I kind of think that is exactly what happened when the one that I ended up putting in my camera. I think I had to go around and around messing with something to get it to work. I don't remember what now, but let's see. I've forgotten. Okay, I'm just going to close that because it uses too many resources. And go back to the 58 again. I do have my preview there, so. Okay. Seemed like the lapel was a lot louder than the 58, but they look like everything looks like it's working good. Guess it was. Well, since my stream is showing in the red anyway, I guess I'll turn off the preview up there on the laptop. Little, you know, less bandwidth being used. I don't know why it's it does that. You know, when I first year or two I was streaming, I hardly ever saw a red stream, at least not for any length of time. I mean, once I got OBS Studio, the first couple apps I used that YouTube recommended, that was a whole different story. But anyway, I closed that one, and then instantly I saw, as I was closing it, I saw not showing what I just didn't. Guess I can. Oh, I switched. Uh-oh. Bad idea. I better close that browser. Yeah, it showed one watching, but it was the health is probably bad because the computer has gotten, you know, I ran that. I switched. Yeah, it is working. Uh-oh. Okay, it's still working, so I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I'm pretty sure, even if it doesn't show up, it does show up. OBS was using 62%, now 60, 57. I don't know what caused that to happen. Oh, maybe it happened because I was running that desktop player, yeah. On top of me running that, sometimes the longer OBS runs, the more likely it is to do something like that. But see, it's not really settling down there. It's on my USB camera, which usually doesn't cause that. But, well, I'm so tired, I'm ready to quit anyway, so let's just try to, the stream might be okay now, though. That it was the machine not being able to process everything, and I think, but I guess it wasn't really the, of course I did open up the, player of the, you know, the security camera right after I shut down the remote desktop, the virtual machine and XP and all that. Good thing I didn't keep on playing it. Kind of had a feeling I should close it. It was, if I'd have kept it playing, it would have just locked up the computer. That's what I have to watch out for with this whole thing. Oh, and that's why I want to get that old server up and going and fixed up where I can use it as my main machine all the time, because then I'm sure I'll find a way to lock it up. I've locked up everything I've ever had, but if I got a powerful machine, I'll say, oh, I can do everything, you know, all at once. But anyway, it should do way, way better. But anyway, I don't know. I'm thinking that's one big thing down, knowing how to get into iLO, and yeah, I'll probably go ahead and see if I could figure out get it, you know, booting to an ISO working, because then I don't have to keep fiddling with having to put everything I want to boot to. I don't have to put it on some external media like that. And I guess I better put this. And I want to figure out what it is. I'm pretty sure that I just need to remember how I got the other one written. I don't know. I mean, for one thing, I can put it in that. I don't have one in the camera. I remember now. I was thinking earlier today that I bet everything I was saying that, I think, in the first video. Everything I've been doing has been recorded on an SD card. No, it hasn't, because I haven't put one in it yet. But they have the capability of formatting an SD card, and it'll be FAT32 because that's what it uses. So I could put it in there and say, and remotely format it, you know, on the web admin interface for the camera. That'd be one thing I could do, and it wouldn't be hard. just unscrewing a little cover and everything. Except for I've got that set aimed, and I really don't want to mess with it until I'm quit using it up there. But one way or the other, I'll do it. I guess I could put it in that camera and do it. Just take that one out and put this one in, because this is supposed to do it too. Think about that. That'd be easier, probably. There's no, you know, it's just a door. Open the door. And actually, I don't know if it has a door on it. I know it's just kind of like, you know, spring-loaded kind of catch kind of thing. So anyway, there we go. Finally got something going. Didn't get some of the things I was heading for, but I got iLO working. I'm really happy about that. So, well, and I think maybe it is quieter now than it was when I started today, because I ran it for hours, you know, once I got iLO working, and I really started forgetting. I could hear it, but it wasn't driving me crazy like it has been ever since I put the card in. It was just loud enough I couldn't really stand it. And when it gets, like that one time when I put it on like most powerful mode, you know, that thing was it was just like sounding like a jet taking off, you know. Never went down any that whole time. I was going nuts. So I'm gonna go, and I am tired. I'm ready for bed. I wonder, because I got up at 4:20 or 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and now it's 8:49 a.m. the next, you know, all night, and then the next morning. I don't know how long that is, but it feels like forever that I've been up. All right. Well, I'll see you later. Have a good one.